Welcome everybody to LPF, Last Place Fire Team show. I am your host, Chris. With me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Yendi.
How you doing,
everybody?
man?
How you doing?
Doing good.
And my other co-host, who has butterfingers for hands today, Alan. How you doing?
What do you mean butterfingers? What does that even mean?
You're slipping, Alan.
Listen, I forgot that we needed Greg.
You know, the one time I didn't put the stream key wrong. I had everything ready. I was on an hour before. I was like, you know what? I ain't messing up today. It ain't gonna happen. Then Craig decides to do this. All right. Anyway.
Listen. People watching, all 6 of you. We get together 30 minutes before the show to work out these technicalities, and yet this happens. We're 3 minutes late.
It will always happen. If you tips for you guys, if you ever want to do a podcast, live stream, or anything like that. If you do a podcast, record it. No, I'm kidding. It's fun to do live, but just expect this. Everything could run perfectly up until when you push start. Literally, the computer could just turn off for no reason, just because it knows. It's like, oh, showtime, I'm off. Thank you. So we've all experienced it. We've all been there, especially with all 3 of our careers and stuff like that. So we're used to that. But welcome to another episode. This is episode 32. Today we are going to do a Sony recap, the presentation that was out. We will be talking about Epic and the Apple continuation. We'll talk a little bit about Far Cry, and then at the end of the show, if there's a little bit of time, we'll probably do our rant about Twitch. So, but before we get to that, let's find out what these guys have been playing all week. You know, it's another week has passed. Tuesday has snuck up on us again. So, Yendi, have you been playing anything, or you been deep into work, or what have you been doing? Basically, if you haven't been playing anything, what's been going on?
I've been balls deep into work, modding mice. Currently testing 2 products from Fnatic. One I'm looking at, and one's behind me, but thankfully you can't see it.
Oh.
Other than that,
playing a dangerous game there, friend.
Yeah, you can't see it thanks to the blur.
Okay.
But yeah, no game. Oh, I did try the New World beta. I only played like maybe an hour or 2, but that's exactly what I needed. I didn't want to keep going because everything was going to be wiped anyways, but I got a gist of the gameplay of the world, and I am hooked already. I can't wait for September 28th, because that is going to be my daily game that I grind in the mornings before work, and then after a little bit, and maybe finally something that will take me away from COD. Probably not, but it'll help.
Listen, my friend, we have Battlefield in just a little bit over a month.
Yeah, well, when
you better be there.
The main game, but now I have a game that I can grind and just relax to. So very excited for New World still.
Right. What about you, Alan? What have you been playing? What have you been getting into?
I got me daily Apex, as always, doing my dailies. New stuff came out today. I haven't played yet, but I also NBA 2K22 is out, and
how's it doing?
I play NBA 2. It's really good, actually.
Oh, yeah?
It's amazing. It's way better than it was last year. They actually listen to their community, and it's been a joy so far. You know, doing the grind, enjoying that, making my player a baller. So you can check those out if you ever guys want to see when I'm ready to drop that. And then that's pretty much it. I didn't get Deathloop yet, so haven't played it yet, and I haven't finished Psychonauts, and I'm not getting it until I beat Psychonauts. So that is my goal of this year, is to make sure I beat a game before I start a new one. So until I'm done with Psychonauts, I am not playing a new storied game.
All right. Fun fact for me about NBA. I was profiled racially.
Oh. Wow.
No, I'm kidding. It was probably not. Well, I mean, maybe. You guys listen to the story. All right. So this week I've been playing, before I get into this, because this is going to be part of it. This week I have been playing Outer Worlds, so I can finally beat that before the second one comes out. I did get Deathloop. I streamed it just before the show, and I will be streaming it more. Not enough. I haven't played enough to say that I like it. I like the characters, and I like how it's not a spoiler, by the way. I like how the what do you want to call them? AI, whatever. The people that roam the place are aware that it's a loop. So I thought that was really cool. Instead of you being the only one that's like, oh my god, I'm repeating the same day, blah blah blah. It's like you'll actually hear some comments of just like, man, I hope, like, I really just don't want to get stabbed today. Like, they know the routine. Like, one guy will be in the same spot and he knows, like, I have to be here and this guy's gonna kill me at some point. I just hope I don't die this way today. And you know, and it's really cool to hear. But also, I've been playing WarioWare, so I had to go hunting for the game because GameStop is not sending extra copies out to people. So whenever I went in, the first thing the person, I'm waiting in line, how you doing? I'm good. Gets to me. Listen, man, we don't have 2K. I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm here for WarioWare. Oh, okay.
You were totally profiled. 100%. That is racially profiled. That's 1,000% being racial.
I should have been like, hey man, I can swim also, just to blow your mind a little bit more. That's crazy.
Wow.
Just stupid stuff. Yeah. Oh man. Chris to okay, nice, very nice. Okay.
What the hell?
But yeah, I've been playing WarioWare with Bree, and we've been enjoying the game a lot. It's not as I was worried about like moving the character around. Like whenever they showed it at E3, it didn't look like normal WarioWare. Plays just the same. It's really fun. Each character has its own little ability that makes them unique. Some players can only shoot right, and some players can only shoot left. So it makes everything very interesting. So yeah, I've been doing that. Some housekeeping. Be sure to check out me and Alan's video on LPF debrief. We have put out. Did we put out 2 this week? No, that was last week. We only did 1 this week, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it is Marvel Zombies. So if you have been keeping up with the What If series, be sure to go out and check that out and keep up with us. Let us know in the comments what you think about it, and then also if you want to be a guest on the LPF debrief show or on our show, let us know. This week's video is going to be another debrief on What If, and it's going to be about King Killmonger. That'll be coming out tomorrow, so make sure to watch that tomorrow, and be sure to tune in on Thursday for that episode. Also, we are doing a giveaway, SteelSeries Rival 3 wireless. Once we hit 100 YouTube subscribers, not followers here. We're just going to do YouTube subscribers. You guys seem to really like to hang out on YouTube with us. And also, we will be streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So if you do like watching streams on YouTube, we will be there also. If you have friends that watch just exclusively on the YouTube, let them know that we're on our way and to be there to give us a warm welcome. So yeah, now on to the show.
We have a show?
Yeah. All right. So our first story today is going to be about Epic and Apple. All right. I haven't been keeping up with a lot of it. All right. But what I did hear about the end news. Have you guys been keeping up at all with it?
I mean, I've seen what the major news was.
Okay. If you did not know. All right. Oh my God, advertisements on these freaking articles, man. So basically, it says, following a ruling on Friday that resulted in an injunction against Apple, Epic Games has chosen to continue its legal pursuits and appeal the decision. So Epic is trying to go more after Apple. I guess they weren't happy with the outcome of what happened. I wouldn't be happy either. If you didn't know what happened, the judge ordered Epic to pay a sum of $3.6 million, which is basically the 30% cut Apple would have received if payments were processed based on what was agreed. So basically, whenever Fortnite was taken off of the store, they were supposed to Apple was supposed to get a cut of the payment that they get from V-Bucks, but they did some sale that undermined that, and then they were immediately kicked off the App Store. So Epic owes Apple, but also, hold on, where's that thing? It says, while Epic did succeed in one category of the legal dispute, a massive win for app developers, as a whole, which will help avoid Apple's grasp of sharing in-app purchasing revenues. It's a goal. It's broader than in-app purchasing freedoms. Whether it be overall reduced revenue sharing when using Apple's App Store or allowing other digital marketplaces onto iOS ecosystems. For example, Microsoft Xbox Cloud Gaming Service is a good example of how Apple has restricted companies from putting any semblance of any alternate gaming portal in the App Store. As a result, Microsoft has decided to bypass the traditional app model on iOS and instead function through the web browser on supported Apple devices. So basically, Apple cannot, if I'm reading that correctly, they can't really charge, or they can't force you to use third parties they can't force the app developer to use third parties to create these purchases, which is what they did and would still take money from those app purchases. What did you guys think of the news coming out on Friday? We'll go with Alan first.
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, there's like, I don't see Epic getting what they want out of this anyway. They can appeal all they want and do whatever they are trying to do, but at the end of the day, Apple has certain things that they're able to do and able to make sure that they get paid. If you want to be on their service, they're going to get a cut of money at some point, even if it's not, even if it's not the way that Epic is just going to give them money. Because clearly, if the judge ruled it this way, then there's clearly in the contract or whatever it is that something that entitled Apple to get this money. So I don't see why Epic even tried to fight this. It's one of those things where you have lawyers. I'm sure it's somewhere in there.
You broke the contract, so you have to pay the money. Like, you messed up, you do have to pay the money.
If there's a
take your win and your L at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to deal with what happened. So them trying to appeal it, they might end up at another judge, and a judge might end up saying, "Hey, well, I see it this way," and then Apple's going to appeal it. So then you're just going to have another, whoever, and then it's going to finally go to whatever the high. Well, I don't know if they even want to go to the Supreme Court about this and see how long that would take, but then that's a whole nother process, because once it gets appealed, let's say Epic does go to another judge and then win the case, then Apple's going to appeal them. And then if Apple appeals them and they win the case, then you're just back at square one where one person saying that they won. So then you have to take it to Supreme Court for a final judgment, and that could take another 2-3 years anyway. So is the money worth it? I don't know. Is this just basically a Epic going, you know what, you guys screwed us, so we don't want to pay for it or pay you because you screwed it? I think it's more of that, and I think this is just a whole petty mess that Apple needs to get over themselves and Epic needs to get over themselves. You're both making a buku amount of cash. Like, I don't think this is literally just to show, hey, we beat the case of Apple, or we beat the case of Epic. So I think it's all crap and just needs to be washed away at some point.
So one of the questions I had here was, what else could Epic? What else could Epic want from Apple from this thing? Do you think that they're just like appealing it because they don't want to pay the money, or do you think there's something else that they're trying to go?
There's something else to it. I think they want to be able to get onto to Apple without having to obviously pay, or they want to work out a deal with Apple, because Epic feels like Apple needs them, but Apple has their own stuff that they're trying to launch anyway. So yes, I would agree that it would be smarter for Apple to get Epic onto their thing, because iPhones are still the majority used phones, and then having Epic and people wanting to buy that product. But Apple's also like, we don't really need your money. Like, so they clearly are showing that right now by even going to court with them. They're just like, yeah, we just want you to, give us the money that you guys agreed to. And I think that's really what Apple's doing. And they don't want to lose the case for future reference, like future business transactions. So I just think Apple's just doing this. So they're like, listen, you guys owed us this money. It was in the contract. This is what we want. Epic wants to obviously be running on Apple, because why wouldn't you? Even Microsoft, we saw earlier this year, have that whole, it wasn't a debacle really, because Microsoft just said, you know what, we're just going to go on the browsers, and if you want to use it through the browser, do it through the browser, because clearly Apple does not want us in their app store, so we're not going to deal with any of that. So yeah. I think I think that's the way you want to go about it, but Epic was already on there. So I think Apple just doesn't really care for getting outside outside entities like third parties into their business because they want to launch their gaming stuff and you to solely be able to obtain their gaming stuff, because I'm sure running a third party thing is going to be difficult on the on Apple, because they're going to do the shady stuff that they do in the background, where it's like, oh, it's not going to run exactly fine like it does on other things. So Apple's going to do what they want to do, and Apple doesn't need anyone's money really, so they're going to do that, and it is what it is. Just take your L. Like, it's just like Microsoft did. They're like, okay, you don't want to work with us, we'll put it on they put it on their browsers so they could say, hey, this is out of our hands. If you guys have a problem, talk to Apple. We're offering you the service. Here you go. So
okay, and then my last question is, do you think the new rule for Apple that'll will be implemented soon will hurt mobile gaming in the end? Do you think it's
it won't, like, it'll definitely take a hit, because like I said, Apple's one of the most used phones in the world. Like, it's not just here in the States. It's literally I'm pretty positive I could say it's the most used phone in the world, like, for sure. And I think then it goes down the list from there. But it will hurt mobile gaming in the sense that a lot of people who have iPhones, because the majority of people who do, if they want a mobile game, you're already cutting it to size. Like, even if you don't mobile game, you're more likely to have an iPhone than you are to have any other phone. And now if you're not able to play a certain game that is offered on another phone, now you have to go out and get another phone. And we know phones are costing $1,000 now. They're pretty much systems at this point. So for, like, even if the community is small, you're still taking that small community from the majority of phone owners. So it will hurt it. Will it still, like, I still think it's going to prosper in other ways, but it will hurt it, because now if Apple doesn't allow some of these things on there, you are taking away, like I said, the majority of people who own these phones are now cannot access certain games. And I think that's when you start running into a little bit issues for that. But I think mobile gaming is here to stay the way that it is. And Apple will find a way so that they're making money and probably create a new service for them anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yendi, what do you think about the whole situation?
All right, so let's clear up some misinformation that we heard here. First of all, for those who don't know what is going on with this lawsuit, the reason it started was because Apple is very restrictive with their App Store, having everybody go through their store in order to do any kind of money transfer or purchase it, anything like that. So what Epic did with their Fortnite is they allowed users to buy currency through the Fortnite game, bypassing the Apple Store. So this is why Apple sued Epic, and this is why they went to court. So for this ruling here, the judge ruled in favor of both, is essentially in favor of Epic, in the way that now Apple cannot force anybody to use their first party store, which is the Apple Store. Now anybody can come in with a third party store and offer in-game cosmetics, anything that you could buy. It can now be done outside of Apple. So that's how Epic won. Now, as far as how Apple won is they had Epic paid about $12 million to make up for the amount that Apple lost by Epic going and bypassing the Apple Store. So that's all that's pretty much happening to Apple.
I thought it was a cut from $12 million. I thought it wasn't.
They got part or all of what Apple lost due to that agreement that they had that Epic bypassed. So that's what happened with that. And then what was the other questions you had here? What else
what else do you think Epic would want from Apple? Like, what else do you think they're trying to take with the appeal? Do you think they're just trying to get out of the payment?
The appeal, I think Epic knows that they won this in the eyes of gamers, right? They won this because now anybody can charge, and not have to go through Apple's store. So Apple doesn't get that 30% cut anymore, right? So now if I wanted to make a game and sell in-app items, they could buy it directly from me instead of having to give Apple a cut of that revenue. So I think what Epic is trying to do here is to just say, even though they should just let it go because it's only I want to say 12 million was uh
The
for some reason
profit.
$12 million comes to mind. But I think Epic is just being petty right here because they could definitely just let it go. But I think they're trying to show that they still want to fight for the gamers and they want to. I don't know. I have no idea exactly
I
what
wouldn't say
Epic is
fight for
trying
the
to do.
gamers. It was just like, hey.
They're they're trying to look after the gamers. They want because in a way this is good for everybody right here because now Apple doesn't have a stronghold on um, the revenue that people can make on the App Store now. So
So do
going
you,
into
with
yeah.
that, so I think like, it is helping, and especially with these other companies that want to build their own mobile games and stuff like that. So do you think this will hurt mobile gaming in the end in that way? Do you think Apple will come up with a new way to try to find a loophole, or do you think um, these mobile companies, the mobile gaming companies, are kind of restricted? Like they would have to move over
No,
to another system or anything like that? No, you think they'll be fine on
I
iOS?
think I think this is the best scenario that could happen because now that means more people can come into the Apple Store and sell their games and make money off the in-app purchases that they don't have, and now they don't have to worry about that 30%
But
cut, right?
yes,
So
but the counter to that is Apple doesn't have to put you on their store though.
That's what I'm saying.
right,
That's what I'm worried about.
That's
Is
what I
just
mean
like
though.
I
But like,
make.
so you could say, yeah, more people can go there, but Apple's going to be like, unless you give us our cut, you can't come into our store.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's always is always a possibility there. But I mean, if you're a big enough developer and you want your game on there, the game's going to get on there, right? Apple's not stupid. They're still going to want to make money. So yes, in the end, I do think this is definitely a super positive thing because now you have more opportunities for different people to come in, bring in different games that were maybe hesitant about paying that 30% cut to Apple, which was actually one of the highest, I believe, in any app store. 30% is quite a bit. Even Google has cut theirs down to something way less than that. So yeah, I think we'll see more games. I think we'll see more ports. And the only negative I see from this is that maybe there might have to be some regulation because of companies trying to take advantage of this situation now, like price gouging or just
I feel like it's gonna be
there's
a big
no.
mess again until it gets. I think it'll get a little bit worse before it gets better.
I just
I
think
think
it's
it'll be the opposite. I think it'll be good, and then it'll get very messy because of there'll be
Apple's going to be
no.
shady with it.
Yeah, they'll be really won't. They'll still be curation, but
Yeah,
it's just gonna be a lot of shittier games on there. But on the same side of the coin, a different side of the coin, it's like shitty games, but there'll be a lot more of them, a lot more different games available to play now as well. So yeah, I definitely do think this is a positive.
All right. Well, thank
only
you
one
for
way to find out.
thank you for clearing that up for us, and also, I mean, we'll wait for the next big update from them. Um, I just think it's funny seeing these two companies go at it for for how much they're making. Like just looking at how much, like the 3.6 million. Whenever I see those numbers and stuff like that, I'm like, just give me 1 million and I'll be fine. Give
But
me 10,000, I'll be
most of those
okay.
things, but
Like
most of those lawsuits are pretty much like Yendi said. It's just most of those lawsuits are pretty much to make sure you get like there's something behind all those lawsuits. Like
oh yeah,
the money's usually like the afterthought in all this. It's usually some like bigger like expansion or on trying to get things in there or something of that nature. It's never just the 13 because I'm pretty sure Epic makes $13 million on Fortnite a day. Like somewhere north of that. There's no way they're making less than that. So for them, I really do think it's like it's not about them wanting to pay them out. It's really about being able to get more eyes on Fortnite and making it easier and just making more money from it. And I think that's what their problem is rather than it being like like the money.
gotcha. Well, before we move on to our next story, we have a LPF breaking news. This just this just happened 20 minutes ago. Nintendo
Ooh,
tweeted out,
Oh,
The latest Nintendo Switch update is now available, including the ability to pair Bluetooth devices for audio output.
what?
They just put it out. And now people are saying put an audio port in the Pro Controller. Yeah,
So it's an update to this.
It's an update, and it's live right now. You can get it on your Switch, and you can pair.
You see, that kind of pisses me off. So that means that there's Bluetooth in here already.
There's been Bluetooth under the entire time.
They're assholes. Like, that's some bullshit. That's some real bullshit.
I was waiting for you guys to like ding. Like I was like
It's been in there the whole time, and they just didn't unlock it.
So we've been. I have a third party thing that I use, and you plug it in, and then it connects that way. That's how I've been connecting my AirPods to it.
That's so stupid.
Yeah,
Bluetooth 1.1.
What
does it say? What kind of Bluetooth it is?
I doubt it.
It says nothing about it. No, it's just showing the screenshots.
That's insane to think about. Like the fact that was already in there, and then they just didn't unlock it. That makes the new system. I don't even want to get started. I'm already upset because I'm really upset because I just don't understand how you have something already inside of your console and you just did not give it to us and you blocked it via software.
I wonder if there was some kind of optimization thing they were trying to hide with Bluetooth being active. I wonder if it's maybe like a battery thing, and when the console was released, it just wasn't optimized enough and it was draining the battery too much. And then now that they've had several software updates, now they can justify bringing back in Bluetooth because now the battery is more optimized due to the software. That's the only reason I can think that they did that.
Yendi, I appreciate you thinking of this as a realist and thinking of it from a technical aspect. This is Nintendo just being some assholes.
I've had the Switch. I've had the Switch since day one. How long has the Switch been out?
The Switch has been out at least 3 years.
Hey Google.
It's been at least the minimum of 3 years.
What the heck was that?
That's one of the craziest.
Hey Google.
Yeah, that's one of the craziest things ever.
When was the Nintendo Switch released?
That doesn't even. It came out in 2019.
Switch was March 3rd, 2017.
2017. That's like 5 years. That was like 5 years.
Yeah, because I was in the palace. I was in the palace when I got the Switch.
Bruh, come on, man. Dude, so 5 years. 5 years to figure out. Hey, by the way, we have Bluetooth on here, and we need it. Listen, that's some bullshit.
What if they were just like some guy was just looking at his screen, he's scrolling, he's like, "Oh wait, let's see what we need to fix," and then he sees like the Bluetooth phone, he's like, "Hey, we forgot that."
Dude,
anyway,
that is insane to think about. That's so crazy.
Well, thank you for joining us with our LPF breaking news. So stay tuned for more. Moving on to our Sony E3. We're calling it E3 recap. Did you guys watch? I mean, me and Alan watched it. Yendi, did you get a chance to review some things?
The stuff that interested me. I'm very disappointed because you said this was a banger, and it was just okay.
Okay, now I got to get ready to get
no.
Here we go.
It was just okay.
You can't say
how is it just okay?
It was more of an Insomniac AAA showing than it was Sony. Insomniac was the one that won this.
Okay.
Insomniac is owned by Sony.
Yes, this should have been an Insomniac showcase, not a Sony one, because the only thing that Sony showed was good, in my opinion. I guess I'll just start off. Right?
Yeah, let's go.
Please.
What are your questions here?
Well, don't worry about the questions are about the games and stuff right now. But the presentation as a whole. Why do you think it's okay?
What good games did it show besides? Let's see.
Well, let me click on this.
Maybe Alan Wake Remastered. Maybe that's an old ass game that's just being brought back. Nothing new there. Surprise, surprise. Let's see.
It's the first time it's available on PlayStation.
Yendi, don't you say what?
The only games here that actually interest me is the Uncharted Legacy coming to PC. Big thing, big hit. A lot of people can finally experience Uncharted in some way.
Tomb Raider,
if they've never experienced it before. Okay, yeah, but you can't compare the two. Uncharted is miles ahead. of Tomb Raider. Let's see what else.
So you're not
I guess
excited
if
for
you-
Forspoken?
Nobody knows shit about that game.
We saw a whole damn feature on it.
Listen, I've seen trailers of that game, and I mentioned last week
That you
yes,
were
I'm
interested.
in
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
They showed
and I
more.
still am. That is not something that I'm super crazy about. The only thing they showed was okay, Spider-Man 2 coming out, great. I mean that was pretty obvious. Insomniac. Wolverine, huge, biggest surprise of the show. Insomniac. Okay, God of War Ragnarok, great. We knew that was coming. What else is there besides maybe Gran Turismo 7?
Deathloop, Uncharted, Gran Turismo,
I already said Uncharted. I already said
Knights of the Old Republic.
Ghostwire.
A remake. Ghostwire. Apparently, that looked like a goddamn flop.
What?
What?
What
Listen,
else? What else?
I just
made this
named
That's
Forspoken.
the whole show.
showcase?
That's the whole
Which-
show.
No,
You're telling me
Knights
this
of the Old Republic.
the last time they had a actually really big showing. You telling me this topped that? This
Yes.
was
For the
at
year,
most
for the
B-
no.
This was most a B+ showing on Sony's part.
Listen, I'm talking about for the year, correct? The year that we went through seeing Nintendos and Xboxes up till now. Okay, this was a whole different thing.
If you are comparing to what they have shown, then I guess that Sony takes the cake by a tiny bit. But nothing here was super spectacular besides the biggest announcement being Wolverine, which is
First
a
of
complete
all,
surprise.
Actually, the
to
biggest
Knights of
surprise,
the Old Republic being an exclusive on PS5 is pretty big news.
Knights of the
PS5.
Old Republic is a fucking 26,000-year-old game.
It's
It's
one of the
nothing
best
new.
Star Wars games ever.
This is what PlayStation is being known for right now. It's just a console that is recycling old games. How many of these games are brand new? How
Wait,
many of these are new IPs?
Project Eve is new.
Okay.
Forspoken
what
is
else?
new.
Okay.
Okay, Ghostwire Tokyo's new.
How many of these are coming out this year?
No, it's not about the next year. It's not about the year. We
It's about
already
what they
knew
showed.
that everything was coming out in 2022.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying these are bad games. I'm saying the showcase was overall just okay. There's nothing here very super spectacular that would get me to go out and buy a PlayStation 5. Period.
What? God of
Nothing.
War, just nothing, huh?
Well,
Gran
I'm not
Turismo,
gonna say. Hold on.
Marvel,
Okay. Whoa.
Spider-Man
Hold
2,
on.
Wolverine.
If you're a God of War fan, go out and get it.
Wait a
I didn't
minute.
play. I have nothing to say on that part.
I'm not saying going
That's
out
your
and buy a
problem.
PS5 for any of that. Okay, that part I'll agree with you with. All right, I won't go buy a PS5 for. Oh no, for Knights of the, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I've always wanted to play that game because whenever I was younger, I didn't play it a lot. This is a chance for me to play it, and I also find it interesting that it was an Xbox exclusive whenever it first came out. You can only play it on the original Xbox, and now it's here. The biggest announcement was actually Spider-Man 2 because nobody was at this whole. There was no rumors. They kept it quiet. Nobody was expecting this game to come out for a while because we just got Miles. Like Miles didn't come out.
Listen, okay, wait.
I'll
wait.
agree with Yendi on the Wolverine.
I think
that's
it was
the biggest.
Spider-Man.
Hold on. The only reason both of you are excited about the showcase is because you've been so depraved because Sony has been complete shit as far as showing stuff for the last I don't know how many showcases they had. They have been mediocre at best. This is the best they've had in a while, and that's not saying much because this to me is still a B+ at most showcase. The games here, there's like I said, maybe three games here that are actually decent. Right?
Okay, well then guess what? Guess what? My
It ain't
question
decent.
will still work. What are the 3 top games from the show? Go ahead, Yendi. We'll go and get
Wolverine,
it. Okay.
right? Wolverine, let's see. Wolverine, God of War, and again, this is all preference.
But I mean that's I would hope it's all preference.
Right. And then
What are you saying?
I mean
Gran
I guess
Turismo?
Forspoken because it's new, something brand new finally.
You're not gonna put Uncharted on your list? I'm saying things you're looking for.
Uncharted is a remake. I'm super excited for Uncharted. I'm gonna buy that day one on PC because I can finally play, without having to scout around for a fucking PS5.
But it makes you excited though, because it showed a banger. Because the showcase was a banger.
It's not a banger because I already played Uncharted 4.
But
The only reason I'm
you
excited
just
for it-
said you were
the
going
only
to get
reason
it
I'm
on day
excited for it is
one.
because I know that a lot of PC players can now experience this for the very first time. So that excites me. But I already played this game. I already know how it goes and everything about it. I'm excited to try with higher settings finally. But I
Okay.
wouldn't say, oh, you should buy a PlayStation because of this.
Listen,
This has already been done in the past with PS4.
listen. Is it my turn?
I'm
Is
kind
it
of
my turn?
scared.
what other questions do you have? What other questions do you have there?
Uh, I don't want you to answer anymore. You're hurting my feelings.
No.
Hey,
Don't look
I'm
at
just
it.
saying. I'm just saying. Just let me be.
I know. Yeah, that's what you
Let me
need.
say my piece. Let me say my piece.
So you
next?
already said what your question. My other thing was, what will be your day one purchase? Like you saw the game, and I'm like, hey, day one, I'm buying it, and you just said Uncharted. Is there any other game? You have a PS5. Money's not an issue. You have a PS5 in your living room right now. What game would you be like? I'm buying this day one.
We know nothing about Project Eve. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is just more Borderlands 3, but crazier. Looks like a super amount of fun. Great. Forspoken, brand new IP, awesome. Rainbow Six, same old shit, different DLC. Alan Wake, remastered. Fucking GTA 5 again, delayed for whatever fucking reason,
the
even
only
though there's
reason.
nothing new.
I could
Speaking of
I could
that-
give you that.
Speaking of that, not that. I mean, actually, no. It's kind of. I'm dying. So, Dying Light 2 was actually delayed today.
Surprise.
Till
Ghostwire
February.
Tokyo.
It was supposed to
nobody knows
come out
shit
in
about
December,
that.
but oh
Marvel's
no.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't trust any of that after what happened to Avengers, right? Blood Hunt. Don't know what the fuck that is.
You can
That
play
shit
that
was
now, and
cool.
it's actually pretty
It's
fun.
free.
It's
And
free.
then you have this. This is complete filler in this showcase. Kid A Amnesia, which is a Radiohead. I don't know what the fuck spinoff. Complete filler. I don't know if
You
even saw
gotta.
this. Complete
If
filler.
you. I mean, you gotta. Obviously, I
Listen.
follow a lot of other games media, so like I always talk about min-max. They explain what that could possibly be and what the reference was to. I can't remember it off the top of my head how they explained it. Whenever they explained it, I was like, okay, cool, I get it. But it's not meant for, I guess,
It's for
It's-
fans of Radiohead,
Yeah.
the band.
yeah. So it's
What the fuck's that have to do with PlayStation 5? It sounds like it's shoehorned in here for just to pad up the announcements, the showcase. Come on. What else? What do you got? What do you got?
All right, Alan, you can. What do you think of the
Yendi.
show, Alan?
Yendi, first of all.
Oh, that's great. I'll suck Sony's dick anytime.
No. First of all, I'm probably one of the most critical people of Sony here. What I want to ask Yendi some questions.
I gotta.
Go ahead.
Okay. What did you think they were going to show? I'm just curious.
A lot more than this, according to Chris's reaction.
What do you mean? Because you didn't.
Okay, so maybe I thought, okay, they're gonna release GTA this year. Surprise! 2-3 more extra brand new IPs that we haven't heard of yet. If this is supposed to be the biggest showing of the year, I expected a lot more than this.
What, like?
But all we have is remakes or rehashes of older franchises.
But you have Forspoken coming out.
Okay, brand new IP, great.
You have God of War 2.
Okay, a sequel to God of War, a great game. I
One
haven't
of the
played
best
it.
games
I have
ever
no stock
created
in that game.
to men, to period,
See,
to
the
everything.
reason why I never mentioned anything about it is because I have no say in that because I never played the first one.
Okay,
I know a
so
lot of people are excited for that. Great.
yes, so how you can't say that it's not a banger if you haven't played the best game that they showcased.
It's not a banger. I stand by it. It's not a banger. B plus.
How?
B plus.
How is
B
that?
plus.
Listen, you need to. You know what you need to do? You need to go play God of War right now. Just drop everything you're doing and go play God of War.
Well, I want to know what makes it. What would make it an? What would make it an A?
Yendi would need
More
10 new
AAA
brand new
announcements.
He
AAA
would 10
announcements.
brand new announcements in
How
order
many
to
of
make
these
the
games
banger.
would you guys classify as AAA?
What do you mean? God of
How
War.
many of these announcements would you classify
God
as
of War,
AAA?
Wolverine,
Okay.
Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, Forspoken, Deathloop, Guardians,
Star Wars.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Star Wars is a AAA.
Deathloop was not in this.
Deathloop was there.
Was it? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, it was. It's not in here because it came out. It's not on the list.
Okay.
But because
right.
of they did show it during the show because that's when me and Alan freaked out that it was like when they showed it. Yendi wanted Indiana Jones. Well, we know that's gonna be on Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
when they announced it, me and Alan were like, "Wait, that's next week." Like, holy, what?
Yeah,
What?
it was. Next
So
week.
yeah, so
And that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, today.
it's today. Yeah, it's today.
All I'm saying is this, Yendi.
Oh, and
They
Teacher
showed.
looked good.
Well, yeah.
I
They
can't
showed
say
the
it right.
games that we were expecting to get this year. Now, that's my biggest criticism of this event, was that this was a lot of games that were shown that were supposed to come out this year. Okay, so I will give you that. But besides that, they showed games that people wanted to see and games that actually look good. You can't look at that God of War trailer and tell me that that game wasn't done. I told Chris even before that thing started, even last week, I was like, bro, God of War is ready to go. I said we're going to see gameplay trailer. We're going to see a whole fleshed out story. The game's going to look fantastic and they're going to give us no release date. What did they do? They did everything I said and showed us a completed game ready to go.
Well, the trailer looked like what they're gonna. It looks like the stock image. Like if you walk into a GameStop when it comes out, that's what they're gonna be showing in the background the whole time. It's like,
just
get God of
the
War
game was
today.
ready to go. Okay, so you showed one of the best games ever made. I'm just saying.
For me, I
that
said
already gives you a B. That's like a minimum of a B just by showing us that game. Minimum. Then you show us Wolverine, a game none of us were expecting. Like, and as soon as we saw the claws, everyone freaked out. Go watch the video. Chris and I were there.
If this
We're
would have
freaked
been
out.
a solo showcase with just Insomniac,
I think you're
But
just. I think you're
Insomniac owns
focusing.
Sony,
I
though.
think you're focusing too much.
Sony
I understand. I'm saying Insomniac stole the show. It should have been Insomniac focused and then have a separate show with
No.
all these other rehashes and
Why?
remakes.
Well,
of
they
games.
can't do that because then we would have had the Bethesda show. We would have the Bethesda would have had their own show,
So
and then
it's
Xbox
the
would have their
same
own show.
entity.
It's the same
Okay,
thing.
Insomniac is in Sony.
Yes, I understand
Period.
that.
So
But I'm
they have
saying
to show this in a
Insomniac is
Sony
the only
showcase.
reason this showcase was even good.
So what's
No.
that? What's the problem with that though?
It was God of War.
Okay,
God of War
even
was
without
you
that,
guys are hyping. The problem is you guys hyped this up so much that I was expecting like mind-blowing news, and it's just more random bullshit from Sony.
It's
There's
God
there's
of
nothing-
War
There is
Ragnarok.
nothing. There is nothing
Did you
mind-blowing
see
about the
Thor
showcase.
show up to the
aside-
spot?
No,
Did you see
no.
Thor show up to the
No,
spot?
Again,
See,
because
that's your
I'm
problem.
stuck in God of War. I'm sorry. I didn't play it. I didn't play it. I sold my PS4 before I got to be able
And
to do that.
that's your problem. You didn't
So,
see Thor
from
show up
my
to the
point
spot.
of view, from a non-Sony fanboy, that
I'm
is
not
my point of
fanboying.
view.
I'm a game fanboy.
Look, man. You
I'm
are.
a game
Both of you
fanboy.
are.
No.
Both of you are, okay.
That's not true.
both of you. Hold on,
Listen,
bro.
listen,
wait,
so-
I'm
Can't
saying.
argue that Sony has great first-party games. Nobody can argue that.
And they showed us
Okay.
a list of their first party games.
What I don't get is you're saying like they showed me a whole bunch of random stuff. I don't understand. I don't understand how you're not telling me how this show would have been better. Isn't that a showcase? They show you a whole bunch of random shit because it's a whole
They
bunch.
show- wait,
It's all
hold
the
on,
games
hold
that
on,
they've been
hold
working
on,
on.
hold on.
I don't
Hold on.
understand what you mean by
Hold
that.
on. Sony has great first party games. We saw 5 of them.
Alan, if you
Which
say
five-
God of War again,
which-
we get it. God of War is great.
First party.
No. It's just, we saw God of War.
Okay. Okay.
We saw Wolverine.
Yes.
We saw Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
We saw Gran Turismo.
Uh-huh.
We saw Deathloop. We saw what else is
Is
the other?
Deathloop not coming out on Xbox?
No.
And we saw Forspoken.
It's a PS5. It's a PS5 and PC exclusive.
That's 5 games.
Okay. All right, fine.
in this weird bird game that I'm gonna keep fighting for because you know it deserves it. Where's this at? Where's this at? The teacher.
And Knights of the Old Republic also about to be a first too. So I'm just saying.
That's like saying fucking Skyrim is coming out again on PS5.
No, it's not because it's an exclusive. That means something though. The people like it came out on Xbox
Okay.
and is not going to be
Look.
available.
For fans of Sony, this may have been a great showcase. For me, it was just okay. I stand by it. That's it. You can't convince me otherwise.
All right, Alan. Going on with my questions. Hold on. I'm gonna go to Black Magic here. Yendi wanted Indiana Jones. We said that. Okay, Yendi, did you hear Craven wanting a challenge? Did you not see the claws come out? I want to see Yendi in the ring.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Get some boxing gloves on.
Reading down the list, it just it gets it just intensifies.
Yendi's just made himself public enemy. He hated on Nintendo, which is
Still.
fair, but this showcase was great.
I think we're gonna have a show.
I can understand. I can understand because Yendi, you weren't invested in some of these games, but that does not mean because you weren't invested in the games that great show. Just saying.
All right, Alan, what are your what? Yeah, conversation did get heated. I did not expect it to go that way.
You knew this was going to happen.
And
you knew it.
I did not know. I actually thought Yendi was gonna be like, hey, it was actually a pretty good show. I didn't think he was gonna be like, it was fantastic, because I know Yendi, but I was like, I thought he was gonna be like, hey, it was a good show. Like, I thought he'd give me that. But anyway, what are your top 3 games from the show, Alan?
Well, number one.
Yeah,
God of
teacher.
War, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah, God of War.
I mean, come on. Then number 2 would be Wolverine. And then number 3 would be Spider-Man 2. It just, come on, man. Those were, first of all, like I said, Wolverine being the biggest shocker because there was really no word. Like, there was no rumor.
People are still shocked. Even, what was it? Jason Schreier was just like, people were like, how does he not know?
No one knew what, no one knew. And I remember watching that, and we should definitely cut that clip, but I remember watching that, and we were like, as soon as I saw the bar and the hat, I was like, this is Wolverine. Like, and then they showed the hands with the blood. I was like, but I had no idea that a Wolverine game was going to be made. I know Insomniac has rights to make other Marvel games. I just didn't know they were going to do Wolverine. So, I mean, that was one of the biggest excitements from that, because we were literally shook because we didn't know.
The most excited I see you, though, if you guys go back, the most excited you'll ever see Alan is when the Alan Wake remake was showing. He peaked the mic.
Listen, Alan Wake holds a special place in my heart. It's one of my top 10 games of all time.
I'm excited to try it.
I'm excited for a brand new generation of people to play that game, because that's one of those games that came out on Xbox. It came out early on Xbox 360, and a lot of people didn't play it because not a lot of people had early on Xbox 360. A lot of people jumped on the 360 bandwagon like midway when they realized that Sony, PS3 was being garbage. But people jumped on the 360 late, and no one ever gave that game a chance. And then so I'm excited for Sony, who didn't get a chance.
It was the PS3 era?
It was PS3. That game came out for Xbox 360. Yeah. So I'm excited. My brother played we played that game like religiously hard. We played that game on hard. That game is amazing. It's one of the best games for me.
Alan just likes to hear his own name when he plays the game.
I mean?
No, Alan, no, don't go into the dark.
I would not want to be in that world. Trust me, because you need a flashlight and a gun.
That's a game I've never played, but looked super unique when it came out.
Is it a horror game?
It is a horror game. It
God
is.
Dang it!
Listen, it's the thing about that game which is one of the reasons why I loved Control, because it's made by the same people essentially. But the reason why Control, I loved Control so much, it was because it was super similar to this game in the sense of the movement and things like that. The only problem with one of the main differences in this one, it was more horror centric. So in Alan,
whereas Control is
Control is more like I'm a badass and I can just move.
But that story was
this one was more like I needed you need flashlight batteries, and you have to shine a flashlight on these demons or else you cannot kill these demons. So you just have your flashlight and your gun. So you better. I'm excited to replay that because
maybe stream it when it comes.
You need to. So,
what? I'm looking at the wrong question. Where am I? What will be your day one purchase?
I mean, what am I? The 3 that I named are all buying on
day one. Off the rip.
There's no. I don't need. Insomniac has my faith. There's no reason why I would not get an Insomniac game. You have to complete. I have to feel the complete betrayal in order for me to not get an Insomniac game.
They need to do a CD Projekt Red in order for them not to.
Because CD Projekt Red before Cyberpunk was in that. It was there's. I feel like everyone has their game developers that 100% you're like, it's coming out, I'm getting. And that's God of War is for me is like a day one. Uncharted, like day ones. Those games for me are day ones. And Insomniac, I don't care what they put on there, I'm getting it.
Speaking of CD Projekt Red, well, I asked Alan the next. If one of you guys can look this up, I heard that Cyberpunk's PS5 update was delayed until next year. Is that true?
It was delayed.
It was delayed? I'm not playing this game. I don't think I'm ever going to touch this game. By the time it comes out, I'm going to be with other stuff.
It is delayed.
The other day, I opened the drawer and I saw the game looking at me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're a thing." Sorry.
Yeah, they're releasing that and Witcher 3 with upgraded graphics.
And then, did you think Sony exceeded your expectation? Did Sony exceed your expectation of the show?
I don't know if they exceeded it, honestly, because like I said last week, I had a high expectations. Like I felt like they had to have a show that met that expectation. Like I said, I think I will say yes, because I wasn't expecting. Wolverine was one of those big things I just was not expecting. Alan Wake Remaster, I heard the rumors and didn't know that was coming out. So I think even having a high expectation for them, I do think they did a really good job at the games they announced. And it gives people exciting news. Like I said, my biggest issue with Sony has not been that their games aren't great. My biggest issue with Sony has just been they've been really like they just haven't handled the
release
their situations correctly. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way that they were like, oh, you guys are going to get all these games in 2021, and it's 2021, and we got Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, we did get Ratchet.
And not that Ratchet and Clank is a bad game at all. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying we were supposed to get Horizon. We were supposed to get God of War, Ratchet and Clank. Like, we were supposed to get Forspoken. There was a bunch of games that were supposed to come a year after the console released. And I think they didn't handle that correctly. And they tried to do the thing where they heard Xbox say, everything's coming out in 2022. And then they countered it by doing, oh, all our games are coming out in 2021. So get a PS5. And then not to mention, no one can get a PS5. Like, so I felt like that was just a shady way of handling business. But again, we can't knock their games. Their games are just amazing. And I'm excited to play all those games sometime next year, hopefully, because I still won't put it past them. They might have a couple of releases. But, I mean, it's a good start to have Horizon coming out in February, because the earlier that comes out, the better, because that means they have to drop at least 2 more within that year. Because I feel like Xbox is going to have a really strong showing next year. So I think Sony's going to try to, complement that with some games. And I mean, next 2022, I feel is going to be a really good gaming year. So I hope, I hope all of them come to the table, because you guys know me. I love competition. You guys come out with the best game and go at each other's throats about it, so I can play both of them and enjoy it. So,
and then Black Magic said the showcase made me orgasm like 4 times. So,
not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4.
All right. For me, my top 3 games would have to be
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Whoa. Don't you dare play that video. I was about to play the Grand Theft Auto thing. Okay, cool.
Why? It's your favorite? No, nobody's getting back into GTA 5? Come on.
I've said I downloaded like 4 or 5 times. I still have not. I just don't want to sit here for 4 hours just to play a game that I'm going to get booted for hacking. Jumping in a lobby.
I'm ready to get back into GTA 5. Let's go.
All right. Star Wars, because, yeah. I'm excited for this game. Like I said, I just think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I just think it's funny how they made it into PlayStation exclusive or PlayStation PC exclusive, and whenever it was an Xbox exclusive. I know it's a remake, but I feel like with the Star Wars games we have now, right? Jedi Fallen Order was great, but like Battlefront 2 was okay. Like I enjoyed it. It was a good game. But Knights of the Old Republic, when 1 and 2 were out, those were heavy hitters. They were really cool, and to see it being remade and what it's going to look like what it's going to look like with today's games is going to be awesome. So Spider-Man, Star Wars, and I was gonna say Ghostwire Tokyo, but it's gonna be God of War. Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for Ghostwire Tokyo, but yeah, God of War. I'm very excited for God of War because that first story was even got Bree hooked in.
Arguably the best game ever made. I said it.
Not for me.
Period.
Not for me.
I said arguably, so it's okay.
Yeah, but well, maybe we'll throw some things into the ring. Maybe we'll have to do another tournament list like we did a couple.
That'd be
couple shows
way
back.
too difficult because I think everyone's like best game of all is gonna fit the genre of games that they love.
Yeah, true.
We need a bigger pool. We need a way bigger pool.
Yeah,
it's just those are one of those hard like
because I can't see God
subjective.
of War. I can't see a God of War and Morrowind argument between you two. I'd be like,
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It just holds different. It's so like your greatest game. Like I feel like it would be really difficult for anyone to like have if you pooled like 10 people. I think it's really hard to get 10 people or like a majority of those people to all have like the same game. I don't think 5 people would have the same. Honestly,
I bet you one of those games would be Zelda.
Zelda would be in there, of course, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I do feel like there's like a big, like not a big, but I feel like there's a certain names that are in the list that people would expect to be in their top.
Yeah.
So like I would say Zelda. I would see people who would argue Super Mario.
We should do a list of the best games of all time, but take away the most popular options.
Oh, that's a rough one. You know what we should?
We'll talk about it.
There is an idea here. We should talk about like the best games of like certain years and see what one game of the year and argue.
Looks like we have a theme show coming up then, guys. Instead of I think that'd be good.
Hey, the best runner-up games.
Put it in the notes. Put it in the notes before we get, and we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
Put it in the notes. I will buy them all day ones. And did they exceed my expectation? I say yes, because last week all I said was that I totally thought this show was going to be what we've been seeing all year, and they were going to show me the same games that they've been showing at every single press conference leading up to the PS5, like Horizon, Deathloop. They only showed God of War's title. What was another game?
They didn't. A lot of these games, they showed us briefly Forspoken. They didn't show it in detail.
Yeah, but each game except for Deathloop was different. This one was like everything in the showcase was new, and I was like, okay, cool. Like this is what that exceeded my expectation. I thought they were gonna half-ass it, but I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah. So we hit an hour. What do you think, guys? Should we do this last one, or do you think we should cut it here? Should we fit this one in? All right, cool. We'll talk about it. So I titled it "Far Cry Wants Every Drop of Them Tears." All right, so Far Cry has already put out. It's not even out yet, and they already put out that there is going to be. I want to say is it free DLC? I don't think all of it is, but some of it is. But they announced their DLC packs. I can't open it, but one of the biggest ones is they are going to have a Stranger Things DLC where you're going to go up into the upside down to save Chorizo, which is the little wiener dog in the wheel car.
I mean,
what the fuck even is this game anymore?
I know, right?
What the fuck? Yeah, I heard about this in a podcast I listened to, and I was so confused when they were talking about the DLC. I'm like, what the fuck does Stranger Things have to do with Far Cry 6 at all? I mean, like they're trying so hard.
So we're gonna get
goddamn serious.
This is the DLCs. This is the DLCs. We're supposed to get a Danny Trejo cameo, which is Machete. Machete. He's gonna get a DLC. We're getting a Rambo mission DLC, and then we get a Stranger Things DLC.
Like what? Like what the fuck? What?
Hey, listen,
why?
Listen.
This
Who's
is
asking for this?
Far Cry. Far Cry went full.
We're not asking for Danny Trejo, but it's
in that world. It fits. That one fits. But
Rambo kind of fits too.
Rambo does kind of fit. Stranger Things, I feel like it was just like it's because we can. It's like whenever they did Far Cry 3 did or was it Far Cry 3 that did the cyber thing? The cyber world.
They've done this. They've done crazy shit like this.
There must be some kind of Rambo publicity push because they were in COD and now they're trying to be in fucking Far Cry 6. So I think maybe they're trying to revive that franchise or something's going on.
He's probably gonna get his own game.
This doesn't make any goddamn sense. What does Stranger Things and Rambo have to do with it? I agree with Alan saying that Danny Trejo, he blends in with this.
Yeah.
The place, the setting, everything is great. Fine. Even that's pushing a little bit. I'm like, Danny Trejo is very specific. Why is he in here?
Yeah, he's a badass.
Fine. But Stranger Things, that's in a different fucking time.
Well, not just that.
It's
Like, what the fuck?
Not just that, Yendi. You're going into another dimension to save a wiener dog. That's the premise of this DLC. So that will tell you. That will tell you that
you're not going to save the dog.
Oh, I'm gonna save the dog. I'm just letting Yendi know that already. You should just know that it's not meant to be serious.
At what point does this become more Fortnite fuckery? What are they doing to this franchise? Take it back to its goddamn roots. Stop with all these weird ass DLCs. Okay.
So you're not gonna co-op with me in Stranger Things?
I'm not even gonna buy fucking Far Cry 6. Why would I waste $70? Well, I'm not paying $70 actually because I'm on PC, right?
Oh, you can get it on Ubisoft Connect.
I mean, just hearing about these DLCs alone, it's like it takes any respect I had for this series away because no, I can't put my money towards something that is obviously going down the fucking drain because what are they thinking? They're like grasping at straws now. You can't make up an original idea anymore. Why can't you keep in with the theme of, the island, Cuba, whatever it is? Why can't you? It's like my mind. It's like they're trying to appeal to these fucking 10-year-olds who can't sit still for more than 10 seconds.
I'm glad
they need these bright fucking colorful, flashes on the screen happening every 10 seconds or they're to fucking explode and cry to their moms and shit. Make a real goddamn game for adults. What is this bullshit? What is this?
I'm glad you're speaking your mind, but I will let you know this whole show, you have made me feel very self-conscious about my questions. Because every time he says, I go to ask the question, I'm like, okay, he answered number one. He obviously doesn't think that.
I mean, you were gonna ask.
Oh my god! Like what the?
Okay, I'll ask you anyway. Do you think Far Cry 6 has Game of the Year potential?
No, fuck no.
Okay, all right.
No.
Next question.
I mean, you never know though. Like that doesn't.
It's a fucking rehash of every goddamn Far Cry 6. It's gonna feel mechanically identical to the past.
Yeah, I think
6 of them.
The way I'm looking at Far Cry 6, right, is like I want to do co-op with one of you guys, right? It's probably gonna be Alan at this point. I want to know
the game.
Why? You can get it on Ubisoft Connect.
I'll say, fuck you, I'm not playing this shit.
I want an arcadey game like this. It feels more arcadey that it's going to be like, oh, this is going to be fun, blowing stuff up with my friends. It's going to be a little funny. Like, this is going to be it's a ridiculous game. I'm going to have fun with it.
Yendi is taking this too seriously, okay? Although I agree with everything he said, but sometimes you just need a game where shit blows up. And you know
That's what the fucking FPF games are there for.
No. You know what this game is doing?
That's what Call of Duty is there for. With this bullshit.
No. But it's a sandbox. It's a sandbox game. You just run around and do stuff.
It's a game where I can blow stuff up. And you know what? I'm going to play it.
That's what Just Cause was. Just Cause was not.
Listen, sometimes it's just like when we go watch a movie, right? Sometimes we throw away all the Academy Award stuff, all of that smart stuff. We just go, you know what? We need an Expandables. And we go and watch Expandables. And we have a good time and we walk out of that movie enjoying Expandables. This is what this is.
When you put it like that, fine. I like that analogy there. Great. But it saddens me because I love Far Cry 3 so much. It's seeing it go from something that was somewhat respectable, that crazy ass DLC aside. Now it's just becoming just visual overload nonsense to me. And they're going the fucking EA route with rehashing the same engine and the same mechanics. It's just in a different setting.
For the game, it's the fact that like the very first trailer that we saw with what's the dude's name? I always forget his name. I always want to say Moth Gideon.
Giancarlo.
What is it?
Giancarlo.
Him. Like it had such a serious tone. I'm like, ooh, this feels like a dark game from where it is now. Like I feel like if we could take him and put him in 3, great. But now I'm like, I'm not gonna take him as serious. Like I'm hoping the story's still serious. Like it's gonna have some good points and everything like that. And then after I beat the game, then it's like, hey, this is all the craziness that happens now. I'll be happy with
fine.
that. Yeah,
That'd be okay. But if it's part of the story, which God, I hope not, because God damn it, Ubisoft, you're just one fuck up after another with your bullshit and your company going out.
well,
With
it started with Watch Dogs Legion. Like Watch Dogs Legion was like just
I like
like
Legion.
I know, but it's
I
supposed to be a
didn't
fun.
play it.
It's supposed to
I
be a
didn't play
fun
it, but I
game.
did-
I watched people play it, and it was cool that you like everybody had their own story, like everybody recruited and stuff like that. So
I did love Watch Dogs 2. I still stand by that being an underrated game,
It is.
but I never played Legion. So
Legion was fine. I mean, it was just you were just a legion of people opposed to just me one person.
it's
The
just
story was a little off, but it was fun.
after Ubisoft said that they're going for more what are they live service, right? Is that what they said they're doing, live service
Yeah,
games?
mhm.
It seems like their quality has taken a hit, even though we haven't seen many of those new games yet. The the mindset I feel like they have is just get that money, make a rehash of games every year, just like the EA way, and just people are gonna buy these up because we already have an established franchise, and people are gonna continue buying this, and it's gonna come to the point where it's just another FIFA or Madden, or it's the same thing, same rehash. Do either one of you know if the Far Cry 6 is using a new engine or the same one from Far Cry 5?
I'm not sure.
I'm
I
not
didn't look
too
that deep
sure
into it,
either.
but I'm pretty sure you're right.
I guarantee
Yeah.
they didn't invest in a new engine to make it look better. From what I've seen, it looks exactly like Far Cry 5 in terms of mechanics, movement, everything looks exactly the same. It's just a different setting.
Well, I mean,
know.
Assassin's Creed. Hopefully, they don't mess
Well,
with Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed that
Creed
much because
changed.
yeah. Well, I mean, that community is serious. So
I just don't know how much more Assassin's Creed we can get, honestly.
well, that's what they're
feel
supposed
like
to.
we
They're supposed to
literally have
change it to
taken-
that live version game of it, and that's supposed to be 2024. Like they just said what it was, and then
Yeah, but
we're
that's
not
what I mean.
supposed
I
to see
don't
anything
know.
about it.
I don't know where
Where it's
I
gonna
feel
go.
like we've gone everywhere at this
The way
point.
we're heading, every game's going to become an MMO.
Yeah.
Destiny
well.
transferred to it. Destiny is technically now an MMO.
But
right?
Destiny
That
wanted to
started
be a
our first.
they wanted to be an MMO.
And
That
that's
was
why.
Destiny's goal
But
at
I'm
the
saying
beginning.
that is the ultimate. I feel like the ultimate goal for all developers now, a live service game that they can continually update
Make money,
and have people
absolutely.
make money off. So eventually, everything is going to be that way. Everybody's going to be an MMO, and then you're going to start losing genres. At what point, right?
And that's when you guys buy an Oculus and you come to VR with me.
Man, let's
Ooh.
hope that they get some really good games for VR.
Could you imagine
Half-Life
New World
Alyx.
in VR? That'd be. I mean, one, I'd take forever to get used to. I'd get sick, but like running around like that scale of a game, that'd be kind of cool. But anyway,
Maybe.
let me continue with these questions so we can finish this show. With all this being done, do you think Far Cry can take a break?
Fuck yes. Give him a goddamn break. Give him the Assassin's Creed treatment, man. Just give him like a 2-3 year break. Come back, refreshed, brand new ideas. In that amount of time, man, you can brainstorm so many different
I think
ideas.
so.
You can create a new engine. You
I-
can just completely reboot the whole damn franchise and have it be in the spotlight again.
I think it
used to be good.
depends on. I think it depends on how well this game does, because as much as like we can criticize Far Cry 5 was critically approved as really good, and a lot of people really enjoyed Far Cry 5 enough to the point where it was the highest selling.
Which one was that one? The Montana one?
The last
Montana.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
Montana, okay.
Even I mean, I personally didn't love it, but I'm saying like as far as like the reception for that game, it was reviewed very well and it was bought very well. So it's hard to knock that game. So I think it really depends on Far Cry 6. It depends on how it sells and how it's received. If it's received the same way Far Cry 5 was, we're not seeing a slowdown on the ridiculous. We're not seeing a slowdown on any of that stuff because they're going to be like, it's working. People are still buying our games. The critics still love our games. So why would we
Because
change
players
it?
are getting younger.
I
Every year,
understand,
players are
but you
getting
have
younger.
to fit. You have business-wise, you have to fit that crowd though.
Right, I understand, but at what point does a franchise go from being something that you remember it being to something completely new.
but
So that's probably
us
why Saints
changing our
Row is coming
taste.
back, huh?
But that's us changing
See,
our
that
taste.
game came out with a certain style. Everybody knows that Saints Row is batshit crazy. Even I know that, right?
Saint Row's
Never
1 was
played
not
one.
batshit.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because
But
Saints Row 1 was
eventually-
supposed to be Grand Theft Auto. And then they were like,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, we got to do something different.
That's never a franchise that I played, but I know from what I've seen and read on that franchise is now considered a fucking
No, it's a crazy.
level 100 GTA.
You were the president
batshit crazy,
in
yeah.
Saints Row 4 that had superpowers. So, yeah.
And that's fine, but when you have a lineage that, you start with something somewhat serious and then you go to, Fortniteify it into this. I don't even want to get started on this DLCs again, but I see the decline happening, and in Far Cry 6 is where it starts.
Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think we have to wait and see how everyone receives it. Because if people receive it well, they're not gonna change the formula, because they're gonna be like, we're selling well, because then we become the minority. Is really what, like, we become that like 5% or whatever the percentage is that don't like it, and then 95% of people out there love it, and they're gonna cater to them over us. And
Hey, I could be eating my own words, and this be a fucking 10 out of 10 everywhere, and
that's
be
what
the
I'm
game of the
saying.
year.
We just don't know.
But from what I've seen, I don't think that's gonna happen.
We'll see.
If this game gets let's do something here. If this game gets an 88 overall
On
Metacritic, after a month,
Okay.
You'll eat an onion.
I will eat an onion.
Yeah. You got to do like a pepper or something. Not
Bro,
onion.
peppers
what
mess
pepper?
you out. I could never
Okay,
like.
what? You guys tell me. You guys tell me.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out.
Okay, all right.
Maybe like a ghost
in a
pepper.
month from when it comes. When does it come out?
It comes out October 7th.
So all the reviews stabilize
October
after a
7th?
while.
Yeah, it comes out next month. I told you September and October are jam packed. Like, it is a lot.
I'm
of
saving my
games that
money
are
for
coming out in the
Battlefield
next
in my Steam Deck. Like, we can't forget that's coming out. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
End of the year.
Maybe.
I mean, there's a lot of things coming out
Yeah.
in the end of
yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, it's working, so we'll see.
Dang, an
It's just
88.
rather-
I think it's gonna be like. I think it'll get close. I think it'll be like
Look,
76.
I mean, for reference, Far Cry 5 had an 82. For reference.
88's that sweet number, Yendi. I think you're safe.
Yeah, so
It's possible. It's completely
it's possible. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying, Far Cry 5 had an 82. Far
And
Cry 4 had an 85.
and this is
Far Cry
basing
3,
it off
our
the
favorite one, had a 91.
damn. This is obviously this is basing it off of the base game too. So it's completely possible that I could get an 88 after a month. After a month, not like 1 week, 1 day, because the scores change daily after release.
Yeah, and then for reference also, no Far Cry has gotten under an 82. Every
So it's
Far Cry
totally
has
possible.
so every Far Cry has gotten an 82 or higher, and our favorite one got a 91.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yeah, Far Cry 2, Far Cry 1 had an 89, Far Cry 2 had an 85, Far Cry 3 had a 91, Far Cry 4 had an 85, and then Far Cry 5 had an 82. So it's within the range. So this is not a crazy idea. We'll see what happens.
You want to lock
It
it?
is on tape, ladies and gentlemen. I will lock that in. If Far Cry 6 gets an 80, maintains an 88
after the 1 month. Okay.
of release, I will do something that these two guys
We'll come up with
come up with. I'll do it live on
the next
Twitch.
show. On the yeah.
Also, we might have to change. We might have to change up this dress bet, because dresses are expensive unless you guys have one for me.
Nope.
No.
I'm saying I'll eat something. I'm just trying. I gotta find one.
I will send you a dress.
Okay, that's fine. I will do that. I'm just saying money's a little tight right now for me, and we'll figure it out. I'll put together a Cheez-It bikini or something, and we'll get banned on Twitch.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, because I at this point I officially think that is not going. All the announcements are out. It's not going to happen. I lost. Last question. Sorry for it. What would be a dream DLC for this franchise? Quickly.
I think a dream DLC for me would just have all of the characters in it. Like, I just think that'd be cool.
I'd like
have a short mission that they all interact with each other.
I would like a Revenge of Voss. Like, somehow he just like shows up to Cuba and he's just like But the main character would be different. I don't know. But yeah, I'd like Voss again.
Yeah.
To show up. What about you, Yendi? You got an idea?
I have no idea, to be honest. No, not at all.
Jurassic Park?
Just games.
That's for Fast and Furious, okay?
That's the thing. Like, do I keep it within a theme, or do I go crazy and fucking go Stranger Things on them? Like, at this point, there's nothing you can't do with this franchise if you already introduced.
I can't wait to see how they incorporate it, because if they incorporate it really well, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's dope. Like if it's like something in the.
You just never know. That's the problem.
Black Ops crossover. You get the fuck out of this chat. Get out of this chat right now.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for the show. This show was crazy.
A great show.
It was a very crazy and intense show. That Sony one, I got a little nervous. I did not think it was gonna go that way.
Why? Me and Yendi do this all the time.
I know, but I did not think it got. I just the vibe was crazy for me. I was
And
just
then
like,
we're
holy
just
shit.
fine into like not even an hour, like not even a minute. It's literally like, this is our opinion. We're loud about it, and then it's like, yeah, you're gonna play this? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'm playing it. I'm a
Yeah,
gamer,
Sony's
you know?
BS. I hate all this crap. So are you buying
you,
God of War?
Sony.
Yeah,
And
I'll,
then you see-
I'll take two
Scaldi
copies.
logs on to PlayStation.
Yeah, I'd like to take 2 copies, please.
What are you playing, Horizon?
Shut up, Alan. I don't care.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 32. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. You have all our socials right here at the bottom of the screen at official LPFT. On YouTube, Last Place Fire Team, and on right here on Twitch. Remember, we will start streaming on YouTube next Tuesday. So if you have friends on YouTube, we are going to stream. Don't worry. We're going to be streaming on Twitch, and we're going to be streaming on YouTube at the same time. We're not going affiliate, just so we can make sure we can get the content to you guys however it's comfortable for you guys. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Make sure to tune in for the video on Thursday for me and Alan's debrief. I also want to plan like a stream night. We still gotta play freaking Pummel Party something when we're not busy. But do you guys have anything that you want to plug? Are you guys gonna do any special stream? Oh, if you like Apex. Alan's been doing a very good job out of the 3 of us of keeping up with his stream and playing Apex. So go hang out with him for an hour or 2 as he completes his challenges. They've been killing it. But
gets W's. Come on.
And gets
Mention
W's.
the W's. Okay. Thank you.
I was complimenting you.
Hey,
already.
even if it's one.
I didn't say nothing. That's you. I didn't say a word.
Still counts.
Yendi, you got anything?
Nope. All good here.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Last Place Fire Team out.